Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel and welcome to issue number 1 of Build the Iron Man Mark III. So welcome back subscribers, and if you're new to the channel, please do consider subscribing to my channel. I've got lots of different stuff on here. This is obviously the Iron Man Mark III, which is a new addition to my Build Your Terminator series. So I've got the Terminator on the go if you haven't seen that already, and now I'm just starting, there's 100 issues for the Iron Man Mark III model. Today we're working on the actual helmet, so at the end of this video it's going to actually be complete and it will light up LED lights, which is pretty cool. And then after that I've got one other issue, but I'm not going to do that one today. I'm going to do one at a time. It's a bit more intricate, a bit more detailed, smaller parts and what not to do than the Terminator model, but nonetheless it's still going to be interesting. I'm not sure how long it's going to take, bear with me, I'll do my best to keep it under 10 minutes, but I'm really excited to get started on this one, so let's get cracking. Okay, so as I do with the Terminator, I always introduce what the parts are for the issues we're working with. So obviously for issue 1, like I said, we're working on the actual helmet for the Iron Man today. So starting off with the first part, this is obviously the mask, and that's metal. Then you've got the actual helmet itself, which is also metal. It's nice and heavy as well, some good weight to that. I'm very pleased with the actual quality so far of these parts. Then we've got the helmet base plate here. This is plastic, and also the helmet base, that's metal. Then running down the parts we've got here. So first of all, we've got the visor base, and then you've got the actual visor itself, both being plastic. This is the L.A.D assembly, so obviously that's what I'm going to use to make the lights work. Moving over, we've got the left and the right earpiece, both there, those little plastic parts, and also the helmet support. And then we now have on this is the L.A.D support. You've got the battery cover there, and the little switch, and I believe that's the mask part. This little black thing here is the support post. That's metal. Then you've got a screwdriver, that's supplied with the issue, by the way, may I add. And then for the screws, now these are really small, these ones, and it recommends that you keep them in the bags to not mix them up. They are also labelled, so you've got the AP one, which are the 2x4mm. Then you've got the BP ones, which are 1.7x4mm. The EP, which are 1.4x4mm. And lastly, you've got the, I think these are EM, yep. You've got the majority of those ones, which are 1.7x4mm. So, my mistake. The EP ones are 1.4x4mm. So I'm not gonna take them out of the bag until we actually start using them, just in case, because I don't want to lose them. You also got a battery. So it's a CR1025 battery. That's what you need to power up the helmet, and that's supplied with the issue as well, which is quite good. It's nice to have some batteries included, and that's it. So let's get started. Okay, so stage 1 and 2, the L.A.D assembly, fitting it into the helmet itself. So you're going to take the helmet and flip it around, and you'll see at the top there are two little peg holes. Don't know if you can see that. And you need to take the support post, so that's that metal part, and that's going to lay over those two holes. And what you're going to do, just make sure that fits on correctly. You're then going to take 2 EM screws and you're going to secure that into place. I'm just going to grab the screws now. Like I said, I'm only taking them out of the bags as I need them, in case I lose them. And the screwdriver is magnetized, so that will help to get them out. So you're just going to need 2 of those EM screws to secure it into place. So nice and simple for this first part. So I'm just going to secure that in. Okay, that's partially in. I'll just do the other one as well so it doesn't move it. And like I mentioned, what I can already see from the first 2 issues that I have, My next order I'll be getting 4, by the way, so it'll take me up to issue 6. I can see this is probably going to be a lot more fiddly than Terminator because it's also a lot smaller. So this Mark III is 60 centimeters in total and for height, whereas the Terminator is 90, and obviously the Terminator is significantly heavier as well. So yeah, I imagine this is going to be a bit more tricky. So that's how that should be looking. So that's nicely added in there. Okay, so now I need to put the actual LED assembly into the helmet itself. So there's also, so under where we put that that post, there's another hole, if you can see that, and you're going to slide this part of the cover over that, slot it into place. So just be careful with the wires, obviously, make sure they're out of the helmet because they need to be loose for the moment and not in the way of anything, but also be very careful because they are very fragile. You're then going to take a little EM screw and secure that into place. Okay, and that's how it's looking now. So that's into place. Right, now we're going to be taking the visor base, so that's that part there, which is 1D, and we're going to fit into the main body of the actual helmet itself, so from the front of it, and it just clips in, I believe, so I'm just going to do that now. Just a little bit of pressure and that should go in. Yep, there we go. So that's how it's looking now. It says that the battery case can be seen from the top of the helmet. It's important that the battery cover fits in properly, so test it before you assemble the rest. I'm happy with how mine looks and how it feels, so I'm going to go ahead and do the next part. So in stage 2 you need to take component 1E, which is the LED support, so that's the plastic part here. And what you're going to do is you're going to actually take the LEDs and you're going to put them through the holes of it. So there's two holes either side, and they're just going to thread through. So I'm just going to do that very gently because I don't want to break them. Okay, they're in place. And then once you've done that, you're then going to spin the helmet round, and this new component, will actually fit at the bottom, and there are 2 more corresponding pegs at the bottom of there to actually secure that into place. I'm just going to spin it round and make sure they're in line how I want them. And once you've got them where they need to be, you need to secure them with some EM screws again. So I'm just going to fiddle around with the wire a sec, make sure I've got it how I need it. Okay, so I've got that into place how it should be, as you can see there. Make sure that that part of the LED component is out, because obviously that's going to be the switch. So like I said, you need 2 EM screws to secure that component together for the LED support. So I'm just going to screw those home, and then we can move on. Okay, so they're both in place now, just going to secure them. So now the LED lights and all the wire casing is in the helmet, ready to be connected up at a later stage to that battery. So pretty impressed, to be honest, that we're actually able to do this in the first issue, like actually get the helmet fully completed, because in the Terminator one it started very early and we're still waiting to get the final parts now. It's over 100 issues, 120 in total for Terminator, but the head's not actually finished. There's still more to come. They need a back panel and more parts to actually finish it. So that's that part there. So you can see it's all connected. So let's move on to the next step. Okay, so moving on to stage 3. So we're going to be taking the helmet support, the helmet base plate, which is that part there. And then what you're going to do, you're actually going to take the helmet support, which is component 1M, so it's that plastic part, and you're going to pop that over those 3 pins there. So get that into place. Because what you're going to do once you've done that, you're going to take 3 of your AP screws and secure those 2 together. So just get that into position. I'll do one and then I'll skip the others so you don't have to see that part. Okay, that's the first one. Okay, once you've done that, that's how it's going to be looking. You're going to take the actual helmet base, so that's that metal part there, and you're going to spin it around. And what you'll see here at the top, there are the 2 peg holes and a slit there, and this will be facing upwards, so it can just slide over and fit nice and snugly into place, like so. Once you've done that, just where those 2 screw holes are at the top, you're just going to secure 2 EM screws this time. So I'll just pop that over. And then do the other one. So actually, so far, this hasn't been as challenging as I thought it'd be, because, you know, I'm still. I mean, I guess I've been doing these builds now for a year and a half. Obviously, still on Terminator. Terminator's my first ever one. This is my second ever build. So I guess I'm getting a bit better at doing them. Please give me any praise or criticism, constructive obviously, that you may have on my style. But I think I'm not doing too bad at all. So that's how that should be looking at that point. So now we can move on to the next step, step 3. Okay, so you want to take the right earpiece, and you know which one that is because it actually has these lines that go around in circles. So opposed to the left one, which has just the silver dot there. So that is the one you want to be working with. So now you also need to take the switch. That's that tiny little plastic part, which was component 1L. So that little plastic part. And you're just going to pop that over and secure it with a BP screw this time. So I'm just going to make sure I've got the right orientation of that. Okay, this one's a little bit more fiddly. I just want to also mention as well, once I finish screwing this, for some reason the paint is coming off the helmet. So I don't know if anyone else had that problem, but you can see on my fingers they're red. So I mean, I'm pretty hot under my light, but I didn't know I was that hot I can melt paint off metal. But anyway, that's how that should be looking. So now you're actually going to fit that to the helmet. So obviously you'll know which one it is, what side, because you've got that slit there, and that's where it's going to go through. So I'm just going to pop that through. And it says to make sure the switch, so the little plastic part, is facing down towards the plate. And you know which way that is because this slit on the ear will be up. Okay, so for the final step of stage 3, so remember where we left that part of the wire out. That's obviously what's going to be the connection point for the LED lights and the wires to the switch. So what you need to do, you'll see on the end of that plastic part, there's a screw hole. That needs to be secured onto the actual inner part there for what we just put the ear on. So I'm going to have to be very careful here, obviously, because this is quite tricky to get this on without breaking anything. So bear with me. So this is the fiddly part that I was a bit anxious about. So the screw you need is another small BP one. Okay, so I've connected those 2 parts up, as you can see. And now I'm just going to move on to stage 4, which is the final part where we're going to be fitting the mask together so it all comes together and it's nice and secure. And we'll okay, stage 4, the final part, fitting the mask all together. So obviously what we've just worked on in stage 3, we're now going to connect those 2 up together. So I'm going to just lie those over one another. Yep, that's all connected nicely. And then once you've done that, you're going to spin it around. And from underneath the helmet, you'll see there's 3 screw holes. You're just going to secure them into place with the EM screws. So you need 3 of those. So again, I'll just do 1, and then I'll skip ahead so you can see the next part of this. Okay, so just screw that in. then move on to the other two. Okay, once you've screwed those up, that's how it's looking. So it's nice and secure. So the next step is actually to put the battery in. So that's obviously going to go in at the front of the helmet there. And what you're going to do, you need to make sure you check the orientation of the battery. So it's well, facing you. So this will be the plus and the minus. So plus needs to face your way. So I'm just going to spin him round quickly. I'm just going to move the spring. So plus needs to be facing that way. Pop that in. I'm just going to move the spring out of the way. Okay, that's in there. And then once you've done that, you can take the battery cover and just pop that over so that holds it into place. And what you need for that is a EP screw, just one of those. And that will keep that in there nice and neat and secure. Okay, that's how he's looking at the moment. Okay, so once you've done the left earpiece, you're going to take the mask and the plastic visor, and you'll see inside where you need to slot that in. So I'm just going to do that. And then what you want to do, you want to secure that with an EM screw. So just take one of those. So nearly there now. Bear with me, folks. Hopefully I haven't got to mess around with the battery once this is done, because I don't really want to seal it up and have to take it apart and do it again. I'd rather put it all together than look, but that's just my logic. Okay, that's now connected there. Then what we want to do, we're going to take the last part, which is component, the mask part B10, and we're going to put that at the bottom here. So just to line that up, and you will need just one more EM screw to fix those two together, and that will be a wrap, because everything else is done. And the mask itself is held together by a magnet, which you probably would have seen on top of the battery cover, because inside this mask there is another magnet, which I'll show you in a sec. I'm just trying to get this epoxy screw in. Okay, that's in place. Just going to secure it now. And then, like I said, all we need to do is put it over. It's magnetized, so you see the magnet there with the battery cover magnet there. And my first issue for Iron Man Mark III is complete. Let's give you a quick test, see if his eyes light up. Okay, you ready for this, guys and girls? So line him up. There we go. He is working. Fully functioning order. And that is issue 1 of the Iron Man Mark III complete. So guys and girls, that's issue 1 complete, and as you just saw at the very end there, here is my Iron Man. Let's move my hands out of the way. The helmet is complete, and as you can see, the lights are working. So, someone's at home. Hope you liked the video, guys. Did my best to try and keep it as concise as possible. It was a little bit more tricky in some areas, but not as bad as I thought. But nonetheless, I'm really happy with it. It's really cool so far. So issue 2, which I do have, is going to be working on the first foot, and that will be the left foot. So just a few parts there. Just want to show you. I do have the pack as well. So that's obviously the components there. I'll be doing that in the next issue. And what I've checked also for issue 3, we're working on the right hand, and I'm actually going to get 4 issues next. So I've told you what's coming. We've got the left foot and the right hand, but the other 3 issues I'm not going to tell you until I get them. If I think they're a bit easier and won't take as long, I might combine some. I could do a Terminator, but we'll see how we go. There might be some like this where it's just one part, and the others might be a few more. Depends how easy it is to do, like I said. But I really liked working on this one today. It's nice to have something else to work on separate to Terminator, because Terminator takes its time. That comes once a month as well, 4 issues like this will be as well. So I'll be getting monthly installments of 4 issues. If you are interested, I'll put a link in the description where you can buy it from FanHome. They've got an offer at the moment, so the first issues are a bit cheaper than usual, and then after it goes up to about £36 a month, and that's 100 issues in total. So this one's going to take me a good year and a half again, like the Terminator, because Terminator's getting close to completion. That should be finishing June, July time, and that's been 120 issues, but nonetheless, I love building things, and this is another type of robot, so it's pretty cool to be working on. Marvel, obviously not Terminator universe, but still pretty cool nonetheless, and obviously everyone likes Terminator or they don't. Some people prefer Marvel, so I've got something for everyone I think here, and I hope you like this video. But if you didn't, you can always check out Terminator, and obviously there's going to be some future things that come up that I'll work on as well. So there's always something for everyone, just like my sports commentary, my own training, Terminator, Iron Man. There's always some sort of niche for everyone. So hope you liked the video today, guys, and if you did, as always, remember to hit that bell button and also subscribe so you get all my future uploads, the notifications coming to you directly. Have a good week ahead, guys. Hope you liked the video, enjoy it, and I'll see you soon for issue 2.